Good morning. Welcome to my Periscope. Welcome, replay viewers. Today we are going to talk about debt. Not one of my favorite topics, but you know, it's something that we need to talk about. Got a hair standing up, and we need to definitely make sure that we stay out of debt. So let's get started. Partially, it's going to be inspired by Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University outline. I used to be a facilitator at my local church that I used to attend. And the reason why I'm bringing up this topic and subject is because I am a person that pay my bills on time. I have no credit card debt. The only debts I have is mortgage, and I do have a car payment, which I'm kind of upset with myself about that. You make a buying choice decision and then you regret it later, because I had a car paid for and it was just making noises. And because I'm not a mechanic, and my car is 11 years old, had a lot of mileage on it. I bought it brand new. I just I drive up and down the highway, and so I didn't want the car to stop on me on the highway. Well, I went out and bought a new car, which I did buy a used car. I did do my research. I didn't pay a lot of money for it, but I do have a car payment. And so I gave my car to my daughter, and she's still driving it. A year or so later, and she's still driving my car. So the reason why I'm bringing up the subject again is because even though I did succeed in getting out of debt, and I'd like to maintain that lifestyle because I don't want to owe anybody anything, and I want to be able to do the things I want to do in life without having to just work and pay bills. And so, but recently, last year, my daughter moved from one of the upstairs bedrooms to the downstairs bedrooms. And so downstairs is a full basement. My mom used to live down there. So it's a little apartment. And so she was using it. I have a full bath. And so she was using the bathroom down there. And we haven't used that bathroom in years, a couple of years. And so, I could hear water running. But again, I was like, I'm trying to remember back where my mom was down there. So come to find out, the toilet was running water. So then I get a $1,300 water bill. And so I got a $1,500 water bill. And I called the water company like, there's a mistake. What's going on? And so they said, well, do you have a leak? Do you have this? Do you have that? And so did something change in your household? And so I just immediately thought of the bathroom downstairs. And so we were out of town. I was in New York at the time when I called them. And so as soon as I got home, we stopped using that bathroom downstairs. And so by that time, I had already gotten a $1,300 bill. There was already another bill coming for $4,000. So now I have a $5,000 bill. So one of the things in Dave Ramsey's, the first step, baby step, is to put away $1,000 into a savings account for emergencies. So of course, at the same time, I didn't find out about the bill until maybe about January, but I have rental properties. And so one of my tenants, longtime tenants of 8 years, moved out. So I had to return their security deposit. I had to go in there and, do some updates, new carpet, paint. And so that's where my $1,000 went. My $1,000 went. And then I was paying the mortgage over there and then I got a tenant right away, but between repairs and the new tenant, so needless to say, I have acquired some debt. And so, and it wasn't, me out misusing credit cards. I got an unexpected water bill for $5,000, and then I was paying my mortgage plus the mortgage at my rental property for 6 months. And so I just haven't had the opportunity to rebuild. And so I'm pulling out, if you know the way, then and it was successful, then why not do it again? And so I need to, replenish my emergency fund. And you don't stop at $1,000, but it's a start if you're at a place where you need to get out of debt and build your life, because things do happen. Your tire can go, your engine could go, your roof could go. I mean, there's unexpected things, and so you want to be prepared for emergencies. And so the first step that I recommend is that you create an emergency fund if you don't have credit cards, or and you don't want to use your credit cards for emergency funds, because if you don't pay that off within 30 days, if you pay it off when you receive the bill and it's due by the 10th of the month, and you pay it in full, the total amount that you charge in that bill cycle, then that's fine. If that's what you can do. I'm the type of person, and just to introduce myself, I'm sorry, my name is Renee Rainey, and I am an author, and I have written a book on finances. Here's my book, which can be found on Amazon, How to Live in the Overflow. And I have how I got out of debt before, and I'm going to use the same principles to get out of debt again. And in the book, I talk about my credit card debt. So I know that I'm not the type of person that can be responsible enough to pay off my credit card debts every 30 days on time and full. And after a while, it becomes to be a game. And so I found myself that there was a cycle that I would get out of debt, pay off my credit cards, and then I would do it all over again. And so I just decided one day that I'm just going to stop and not do it. But we have some debt that happened to be in the house. If you're a homeowner, things do happen. So the first step is definitely, replenish my emergency fund. My next step is that, now these are the times. Now, Dave Ramsey talks about, creating a budget, and you can go to his website and print off a budget. I don't know. I have a Facebook group, and I believe I downloaded some things there that you can, resources that you can download. But this is when I sit down and I write out a budget, because you definitely have to be on top of the money that's coming in and coming out. Because if you don't, especially, I use my debit card a lot, and, you just swipe, and you tend to spend more money by swiping. So you definitely want to live by a budget. So the thing is, I would say that, there's been times in the past, because I'm a single parent, where I would sacrifice, as a single parent, that's something that is known. You sacrifice. I do my own hair. I have my natural nails. There's, you do things to, whereas, I'm not going to the beauty salon and paying money for hair. I'm not paying money to get my nails done. I'm doing it myself. So I can go through my budget, go through my bills, want to make sure. I no longer have a phone account, but there was a time where I had to go in, and, sometimes they sell you, when you call in, they have bundles that make you pay more money. And so, I'll use my cable bill. So right now, my daughter's off to college, and so I just got cable again. I haven't had cable in a while, and so I do have internet, and I need internet, so I will keep that. But I don't watch TV anymore. I've gotten used to not watching TV. I'll put TV on just to say, hey, I'm paying for TV, but I'm going to turn in my cable box, because I don't watch TV. I'm an avid reader, and with everything being online and having the internet, I don't need cable, so I'm going to decrease that. So that's one thing. You can go through your bills and make sure that your light bill, your gas bill, you want to make sure that you're not being overcharged for things. You want to make sure that, you have what you need versus them selling you packages that you don't need. Like I don't have any, even though I have cable, I have just basic channels, because, you have TVs and your TVs don't really work unless you have cable or you have fancy antennas or whatever. I can't figure out how to get my TVs to work without the cable. So just even local channels. And that's all I really need anyway. So anyway, I am going to get rid of my cable, but there's ways that you can go about it. You can definitely go through and fine tooth your bills to make sure that you're not overpaying there. So that's one way where you can go through and see what you can eliminate. And I've done that over and over again. But now I also have it where, like, I have mentors that, say, hey, why is that your first step? Especially when you're trying to build wealth. And, I'm talking about living in the overflow and being rich and wealthy. And, the first step that we usually take is, what can I decrease? And so, and then also, Dave Ramsey talks about, get a part-time job, work more, sell everything, if you got extra in your home, sell stuff you don't need. And I've done that as well. But again, I have mentors that are wealthy and they're like, why not create something that can generate more money? Like, again, that's how my book came about, write a book. This belongs to me, and as people buy my books, that's income coming in. Create passive income businesses that you can, you could have, online classes. You can, people are online now selling all kind of stuff, courses, classes, being a coach, so you can increase a monthly income that way. I know that I follow His and Her Money, and, they do secret shopping. They're secret shoppers. So, there's multiple ways to increase your bottom line. So, you don't always have to decrease on, okay, well, I stopped getting my hair done. But if that's something you enjoy, then, you can still get your hair done. So you can fit that into your budget. You don't have to slimline to where you're just living a life where you're just scared to spend money. And then too, what I did with my water bill, I went and knocked on their door. I called them. I'm like, hey, this is ridiculous. And so I did have a hearing. And so you can go and dispute a bill. You can dispute a bill. You want to check your credit report. Make sure that there's nothing on there that doesn't belong to you. I was out of work for a couple of years, and I went to go work for a new company, and they garnished my pay. Come to find out, they were charging, they garnished my pay of someone's tuition bill, and so with my Social Security number. So you definitely want to make sure that your credit report is clean, that the things that are on your credit report are your items and not somebody else's. Also, in my book, I have all the websites that you can go to obtain a free credit report, and you can get one from each company every quarter. So that way you can get a free credit report like every 3-4 months, because things do change, with all these companies that are breaching our information and credit card information. Social Security numbers are getting released and put out there, and then when you call in, some companies, you cannot set up an account unless you give them your Social Security number. And I used to work for the phone company, and unfortunately there were times where employees did take the Social Security numbers and go out and do fraudulent things. So so we live in a society that could happen. And so you want to stay on top of your business there. So with that said, I think that's enough information for now. We'll come back next week to talk more about getting out of debt, and any amount of debt that you're in can be conquered. I know people that were thousands and thousands, hundreds of $1,000s in debt, and they paid off their debt. And it's not going to happen overnight. Depending upon the amount of your debt, you can, live debt free. You can buy houses cash. You can buy cars cash. And I know we live in a society where we want it now instead of saving up for what we want. And when we have the money, then go out and pay cash to where we're not getting a bill. I'm 52. I don't want to, be at retirement age and still have to work because I have debt. And so I'm on a mission to make sure that all of my, properties are paid off free and clear. I don't want to, if something were to happen to me, leave my daughter with a trail of debt behind that doesn't belong to her. And so we'll stop there. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.